Om, Om, Om. As the ultimate manifestation of the ultimate Paramashiva, and ultimate Paramashiva's manifestation, Gangadhara Murthy, Ganga Visarjana Murthy. I bless you all with Paramadvaita. Paramadvaita Praptirastu. Sarva Mangala Praptirastu. Sarva Aishwarya Praptirastu. Paramanyana Praptirastu. Parama Mangala Praptirastu. All the Paramashivoham level 1 participants, I bless you all with intense Nityatva experience, fearless living and clearing of the Swadhisthana Chakra. All the Paramashivoham level 1 participants, I bless you all with intense, powerful awakening of Nityatva Anubhuti. All the Paramashivoham level 2 participants, I bless you all with initiation into will persistence through the pure questioning. All the Paramashivoham level 3 participants, I give you all Paramatma-Shakti Diksha, the will persistence, super-determinism and Paramatma-Shakti, will persistence and super-determinism. Listen. Through your 3 eyes, look into my 3 eyes. Now, Gangadhara Murthy will flow in you. You will experience the real self-drive, Paramatma Shakti, will persistence, super-determinism. I shower you all with this. Listen, I'll give you a simple understanding about life. Continuously, all over the world, in almost all religions, all philosophies, this one question: is everything happening is predestined, or everything happening is out of free will? This question, all philosophies try to analyze this question, whether it is Hinduism and different branches of Hinduism, like Shaiva, Vaishnava, Sakta, Gaumara, all different branches of Hinduism, or Christianity, or Islam, or Sikhism, Buddhism, Jainism, in all religions, this one question, whether everything happens in our life as our life, is it predestined or free will? Always the answers have been given to prove everything is predestined or everything is out of our free will. Science tries to show everything is out of our free will. All religions try to show everything is predestined or God's will. The three different answers, predestined, individual freedom, our free will, or God's will. The word God's will does not have a clear definition or ability to establish that there is a clear God's will which can be established before something happens, during it happens, after it happened. In the Trikala, all the three times, past, present and future, the consistency of the God's will to be established. No tradition is able to give substantiating or very clear, strong, powerful answer. Listen. This question is intense. So if you sincerely listen, this big load, incompletion, doubt you are carrying about life can be cleared. This doubt, is everything happening in my life predestined or God's will or my free will? If this question is understood, if this doubt is cleared, all your self-doubt will be destroyed. Literally 99% of your problems will be solved. Not only Paramashiva, ultimate moksha, you can achieve anything you want in the outer world, inner world and the higher worlds. All three levels. So understand the exact truth, ultimate truth I am revealing. Your life, what is happening inside you, outside you, for you, by you, all this is neither predestined nor free will, nor your free will or God's will. Please understand, it is not predestined. It is not your free will. It is not God's will. Let me make it very clear. There is something called super-determinism. I'll give you the example of Ganga Avataranam, the Gangadhara Murthy's story. See, Ganga coming to planet Earth and washing away the sins of Bhagiratha'S ancestors. Is it predestined? Is it His will? Is it God's will? If you analyze, the answer is no. It is neither predestined nor God's will nor the free will of Bhagiratha. It is super determinism of Bhagiratha. Listen. Listen. We can't say it is predestined, because if it is predestined, Bhagiratha does not need to go through so much. We can't say God's will, because even after Brahma released Ganga from his Kamandalu, the result Bhagiratha wanted, his ancestors' sins getting washed, was not happening. Even after Paramashiva received Ganga and released Ganga, even after Paramashiva released Ganga, it was not happening. Jannu Maharshi just swallowed the whole Ganga, because when she was flowing, it seems she disturbed Jannu Maharshi's tapas. He just swallowed the whole Ganga. Is it individual will of Bhagiratha? No. Because he needed to do tapas to Brahma and receive his blessings to release Ganga. Then he needed to do tapas towards Paramashiva to hold Ganga on his head. Then he need to again do tapas to Paramashiva to release Ganga in a controlled way. The first dam built for a river is Shiva Jata. Shiva Jata is the first dam for river. So very controlled way Ganga was released, but even after that the problem was not solved. He has to do tapas towards Jannu Maharshi and ask him to release Ganga. So understand, life is super determinism. Life is not free will. Life is not predestined. Life is not even God's will. Life is super determinism of the soul, your consciousness. Life is super determinism of your consciousness. Think more deeply. Meditate on this. There's a layers and layers of truths in this story. There is layers and layers of truth in this story. First, Bhagiratha decides to bring Ganga to liberate his forefathers from their karmas, sins, and give them moksha. Then, he doing tapas towards Brahma, Brahma releasing Ganga. Even after Ganga was released, she was rushing with such high energy and speed. All the vertical zones on her way from Brahmaloka, when she was coming, she was literally destroying all the vertical zones. So all the gods got terrorized. That whole Samasta Srishti, the whole creation, may be destroyed. The Mahapralaya may happen if Ganga lands from Satyaloka through all the vertical time zones, from Satyaloka to Tapoloka and all the vertical time zones. The frightened, terrorized Bhagiratha again starts tapas towards Paramashiva. And Paramashiva says, okay, all right. He receives the Ganga on his jata. That's a Gangadhara Murthy. But then Ganga is stuck in his jata. Bhagiratha needs Ganga to come to planet Earth. So the ancestors of Bhagiratha are liberated. So what to do? Again, he does tapas towards Paramashiva, and Paramashiva just moves one of his jata and releases Ganga. Ganga Visarjana Murthy. He manifests as Ganga Visarjana Murthy. And again, when she was coming to planet Earth, the way she was flowing, excited, from Maha Kailasa to this Bhuloka Kailasa, from Bhuloka Kailasa to Manasarovar, from Manasarovar towards the Bhumi, the Bharata Varsha. On the way, she knowingly or unknowingly disturbed the Jannu Maharishi's tapas. So Jannu Maharishi just swallowed her, drank the whole thing. Now again, Bhagiratha has to do tapas to Jannu Maharishi and ask him to release Ganga. He releases Ganga through his ears. That is why she is called Jannavi. Because she was born out of Jannu Maharishi, she is called Jannavi. So now, after so much, finally Ganga comes and washes away the ashes of Bhagiratha's ancestors and liberates all of them from their sins and gives them moksha. That is why Ganga has a name Mokshadayini. In this whole story, I should not say story, it's a history of Ganga. Not story, history of Ganga. The truth, the reality of Ganga is she did not happen because of predestined, the predestination. No. She did not happen because of God's will. No. Brahma sent her. Brahma sent her from his Kamantalu. But that is not enough. She did not happen out of free will of Bhagiratha. No. She happened out of superdeterminism of Bhagiratha. I'll tell you what is the difference between free will, God's will, predestined, and superdeterminism. In free will, only one part of you in the universe is working, functioning towards that goal. Predestined, only one part of the world, the karma of the Jagat, the natural law of the Jagat, natural law of the universe is called predestined. The natural law of the universe is only functioning towards certain goal. In God's will, the Ishvara's will alone is functioning towards certain goal. Listen, neither Jiva, just Jiva's free will, nor Jagat, the natural law of the universe, or Ishvara's will, God's will, none of these three alone is enough for the ultimate. Jiva, Ishvara, Jagat, all the three is not enough. Superdeterminism is the will, Atma Shakti, which comes out of the Paramadvaita cognition. All three in core is one and the same. Jiva, Ishvara or Jagat. All three in core, deep down, one and the same. From that cognition, the will which raises is superdeterminism. Only that can make all three manifest life for you. Listen. Individual will is the power of Jiva, natural law of the universe, means the predestined. That is the power of Jagat. Ishvara's will is power of God. I am not disrespecting God, underestimating the power of God, but just power of God, Ishvara's will alone is not enough even for your liberation. Even for your liberation, your individual will need to be aligned. If just God's will alone is enough to give you liberation, He would have given just like that. People come and ask me, Swamiji, if God is doing everything, why is He not liberating me? Why is He not giving me moksha? Hey, understand. I am revealing the cosmic secret, universal secret. You guys continuously gossip about national secret, state secret, Victoria's secret, so many big great secrets you talk about. I am revealing the ultimate secret. Life is neither predestined. The natural law of the universe. The natural law of the universe is only called predestined. Life is not just your individual will. Swatantratva. No. The free will. No. Life is not just God's will. Ishvara. So, Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, all three by themselves stand alone, does not manifest life, constitute life, resolve the question, doubts, the fundamental doubts about life. Life is superdeterminism. Sonali Gupta is asking how to make all three aligned, Bhagavan. Very simple. I give you straight truth. Not only I am giving you the secret, I am giving you the solution, ultimate solution. Understand? It is God who manifested as individual in you and as Jagat outside you. Ishvara manifested as Jiva inside you, as Jagat outside you. So all three in the core is one and the same. From that cognition, decide to make a will, that is superdeterminism. When you declare how your life should be, cognize you are Paramashiva. Your individual will is established in Paramashiva's will, who is master of the natural law of the universe. Knowing this, cognizing this, ferociously waking up to this is Bhagiratha Prayatnam. The tapas of Bhagiratha. Bhagiratha Prayatnam means knowing your individual will is established in Paramashiva's will. Mama Sangalpam Shiva Sangalpamastu. And on Shiva Sangalpa only, the natural law of the cosmos, natural law of the universe is also established. All three are established in one. Knowing that is Paramadvaita. From that knowledge, when will evolves, it is called superdeterminism. Your individual will can be transformed into superdeterminism the moment you add the cognition of Paramadvaita in you. The moment you are initiated into Paramadvaita, you decide to ferociously hold the initiation given by the Guru. Your free will becomes superdeterminism. The Paramatma Shakti manifests in you. Ganga is Paramatma Shakti. Listen. Listen to today's satsang 3-4 times. Contemplate on it. If possible, sit and transcribe, pen down, write. When you write only, you will understand how many of my words you miss. That is why I insist on always transcribing the satsang. So you will be made to listen 2-3 times. Transcribe satsang on your own. Put the transcription of this satsang as your Facebook post. Transcribe and read. You will realize, oh God, it is not just by the predestined natural law of the universe Ganga came. It is not just by the God's will Ganga came. It is not just by Bhagiratha's free will Ganga came, but by Bhagiratha's superdeterminism. Tapas of Bhagiratha. Bhagiratha'S superdeterminism coordinated Jiva, Ishvara, Jagat and made Ganga Avatarana happen. Ganga Avatarana happened through the Paramadvaita superdeterminism of Bhagiratha manifesting through free will of Bhagiratha, Shiva Sankalpa, God's will of the Ishvara, and as the predestined natural law of the universe through all three, and made Ganga Avatarana happen. So I am repeating. Free will is your individual Swatantra. Science and rationality and atheists go on promoting everything about life is free will. And they have so much of pseudo logic to substantiate or try to substantiate it. The Tubakur logic. If you ask the second question, it will become Tubuk. Free will alone is not everything. Same way, some of the old orthodox schools, they insist, they try to repeatedly establish everything is predestined. The natural law of the universe. No. That is also not a complete truth. Some religious people try to establish the Ishvara Sankalpa is everything, because the Ishvara Sankalpa is actually indescribable because of its very nature of indescribable. It is in the zone of irrefutable, but that does not make the truth is establishable. Listen, irrefutable is not the quality of the establishable. Ishvara Sankalpa can be proved as irrefutable, but not establishable. I am not disrespecting Ishvara Sankalpa. I am not underestimating the Ishvara Sankalpa. I am not underestimating or projecting the power of Ishvara Sankalpa as something less. I am trying to tell you the ultimate truth is, from the core, where Ishvara Sankalpa and natural law of the universe and free will, all three are one and the same. Paramadvaita established in one root. From that, what releases? That superdeterminism is life, and that is the solution for all your doubts about yourself. Self-doubt, self-hatred, self-denial, or guru doubt, guru hatred, guru denial, or God doubt, God hatred, God denial, or life doubt, life hatred, life denial. People suffer with these four. SDHD, LDHD. SDHD is self-doubt, self-hatred, self-denial. LDHD means life doubt, life hatred, life denial. When a doubt raises and it does not get solved continuously, it evolves into a hatred. And even in the level of hatred, if the doubt is not solved, it evolves into denial. Doubt is not ordinary, simple problem. There is a beautiful verse. The Guru's feet is Samsaya Rakshasa Nasa Mahastram. Samsaya, doubt, is described, equated as a Rakshasa, demon, devil, Satan. Samsaya Rakshasa Nasa Mahastram. Samsaya is Rakshasa. It starts as a doubt, evolves as a hatred, ripes as denial. You suffer with 4 levels of doubts. SDHD, self-doubt, self-hatred, self-denial. LDHD, life-doubt, life-hatred, life-denial. GDHD, God-doubt, God-hatred, God-denial. And one more GDHD, Guru-doubt, Guru-hatred, Guru-denial. These 4 Rakshasas, SDHD, LDHD, GDHD and GDHD2, all these 4 can be destroyed with this one understanding, one cognition. Sit, even if it takes half an hour, contemplate. This ultimate truth, which Guru gives you as an initiation. I am giving you this truth as initiation in the core foundation of the existence. You, your free will, individual soul, Jiva, God, the Ishvara, Shiva Sankalpa, and Jagat, the natural law of the universe, Jagat, all the 3 are established, rooted, centered in the same source of the existence. All these 3 are one and the same in the core. Cognize this, and from that cognition, manifest yourself. That is called superdeterminism. In that superdeterminism, all the 3, individual will, predestined, natural law of the universe, Shiva Sankalpa, Ishvara Shakti, all 3 manifest synergetically. When you decide to manifest superdeterminism, Paramatma Shakti, all 3 manifest synergetically. That synergy manifests your life. your success. If you are going for a business meeting, sit and cognize the Paramadvaita Satya. Jiva, Ishvara, Jagat, all three are one and the same and established in the same source of existence. I am that. I am that Paramashiva. I am that cosmos. I am that universe in which all the three are established. From this, I make the superdeterminism. From this, I manifest what I want to manifest. You will see the synergy of Jiveshwara Jagat, Jiva, Ishvara and Jagat manifesting in you and making your life. Every time you manifest superdeterminism, you will see success. Every time you see success, your SDHD, self-doubt, self-hatred, self-denial, LDHD, life-doubt, life-hatred, life-denial, GDHD, God-doubt, God-hatred, God-denial, another GDHD, Guru-doubt, Guru-hatred, Guru-denial. All these four gets burnt away. All these four loses its power over you, its grip over you. Samsaya Rakshasa gets destroyed. Samsaya Rakshasa loses its grip over you. Again and again and again, bring the superdeterminism. Listen, Bhagiratha did not manifest superdeterminism in the first effort of his tapas towards Brahma itself. He tried, he manifested one level. Then he tried with Shiva, he manifested next level. Then again he tried towards Shiva and manifested next level. Then again he tried with Janu Maharshi and manifested next level. Even Bhagiratha tried again and again and manifested the superdeterminism. You also decide you will be like Bhagiratha and manifest superdeterminism. And I bless you all. As the direct descendant of Bhagiratha, all of you should know, Bhagiratha was the king of Surya Vamsa. So, as the direct descendant of Bhagiratha, I bless all of you and all Bhagiratha Prayatna Paramatmashakti Praptirastu. Paramatmashakti Praptirastu. Paramatmashakti Praptirastu. So if you have any questions, you can ask, you can put your questions, I'll answer. Paramashiva Gabriel is asking how to always be connected and intuitive. Understand, every time consciously deciding to connect is the only way to be connected. There is no other technique. There is no other automated. See, whenever you ask for a technique, you are trying to always ask auto mode. Can I put my flight in auto mode? Can I put my car in auto mode? Same way you think you can put your life in auto mode. Hey, you can't. Life has to be lived. It can't be put in auto mode. You can't put autopilot mode for life. You can put autopilot mode for car, flight, all the other vehicles. But for life, you cannot put autopilot mode. Every time you should consciously decide to bring Paramadvaita and superdeterminism. Vinayaka is asking, Swamiji, my mother is asking why this hatredness prevails around her. Listen, I will not try to answer why. I can answer how she can break this. Tell her to start practicing superdeterminism. She can break that hatredness surrounding her. Bhuvaneshwar Singh is asking, Swamiji, when everything is God's manifestation, then why so much injustice happening in the world? Bhuvaneshwar Singh, either you accept everything is God's manifestation, then it has to be only good like a God. Or accept there is so much injustice, it is not God's manifestation, something else is happening. The ultimate real answer for this question is watch this satsang. I think you have joined just now. Watch this satsang fully and understand neither the God's will nor the natural law of the universe or the individual free will is a complete answer for life. It is superdeterminism that is the complete answer for life. Keitan Geboyd is asking, Swamiji, how to hold a superdeterministic cognition when the individual will is shaken? Keitan Geboyd, listen. Individual will is shaken because of your SDHD, self-doubt, self-hatred, self-denial. Because your individual will is shaken, you need to hold on to superdeterminism. It's like you are asking, when I can't sleep, how can I take sleeping pill? Hey, because you can't sleep, you need to take sleeping medicine. Because your individual will is shaken, you need to strongly hold on to the superdeterminism. Superdeterminism. Manifesting superdeterminism does not need your individual will. Superdeterminism manifests from your soul, Atma, consciousness. Your individual will is more like your ego. It starts manifesting from your ego. So your individual will is not required for manifesting your superdeterminism. Ma Nitya Jalandharananda is messaging, gratitude Prabhu, this satsang I really needed. Not only you, Jalandhara, whole world needs this satsang. All of you sit and transcribe this satsang. Only when you transcribe, you will see how many words you are missing. You need to catch every word I uttered. Only then you can understand the superdeterminism and destroy SDHD, LDHD, GDHD, GUDHD. All four.
Nithyananda, Thank you for watching, and if you found the video enlightening,
please give it a like, share it with your loved ones, and subscribe to stay connected with us.
Don't forget to click the bell icon to receive the notifications.